Hello friends, welcome to this week's card class. It is Christmas in July this week, so July just started, and on Tuesday we came out with a bunch of brand new online exclusive products, including some Christmas stuff. And so I thought it would be fun to highlight some of those new products and do a little Christmas in July this week. If it is your first time joining me, welcome. My name is Rachel Trout, and I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 12 years. And every Thursday, I come to you with a card class that you can watch and enjoy, and hopefully you'll find some inspiration here. So this week, we're using the Jolly Holly bundle, and a really fun color combination, I think. And I've got a few surprises for you today, too. So every week when you are watching, you can watch for free, and I'll give you the measurements, show you how to make 3 cards. And if you want a card kit for the 3 cards that we make today, you can shop with me now through Tuesday, and when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping, and after any Stampin Rewards that you're using, I will send you a card kit to make the 3 cards. It will be sent to you in a nice flat package with your cards sorted into envelopes like this. And exactly what I dump out today to make the cards is what you get in your card kit. So you use your own stamps and inks. You can use whatever ribbons and embellishments you have on hand that you want to use. Or if you need some of the things that I'm using and you want to make the cards exactly as shown, you can add those to your order. There is a little list of suggested products in the description of the video, so you can have that if you are shopping for those things. The shopping link is also in the description of the video, and like I said, shop now through Tuesday. But what would Christmas in July be without Christmas gifts, right? So this week I am sweetening the pot a little bit. If your order is over $75, I am also going to send you a mystery swag bag. And I thought it would be fun to show you a couple of examples. So I put together a few already. If you spend even more than that, the more you spend, I'll add some more things to your grab bag. So let's look at a few examples. So here is one right here. These mystery swag bags are going to be valued at least $25. And this is product that I have extras of that is retired now that I'm not going to use. But like you'll see, most of this stuff is brand new. So every package is definitely going to include a pack of handmade cards because I have boatloads of them. And who doesn't love handmade cards? Then this one has, these were some of my favorite embellishments, iridescent rhinestones. We have got some specialty paper here. I believe this had a white core. This was some of my favorite in colors ever. It's a little bit textured and a little bit shimmery. So there are 4 6x6 sheets of each of the 5 colors. So 20 sheets of that. And then this fun rainbow celebration card kit. And just because these are fun, and I bought these a long time ago, I found them when I was cleaning out. How fun are these cactus pens? They actually write really nice too. I'm going to stick one of these in every package too, because if you don't know, I'm from Arizona and I love everything cactuses. If you have seen my logo, I have cactuses in my logo. And those pens are a lot of fun. So every package, every mystery swag bag is going to include one of those also, because I feel like giving you something fun this week. All right, I'm going to set that one down and let me show you a second example. So this is another sample mystery swag bag, grab bag, whatever you want to call it. So again, I have a pack of handmade cards. This one is kind of Christmas themed. So we have some festive pearls. There's also red ones up here at the top. I have a Memories and More card pack, some brushed gold envelopes and card bases, and then of course your fun cactus pen. So those are just a few examples of the mystery grab bags this week. So again, over $50 you'll get the card kit for the cards we make this week. And then over $75, you will get a mystery grab bag. And The more you spend, the more things I will add. And here's my daughter, Grace. She just woke up because I'm filming this in the morning. So, Grace, you can say hi if you want, and then we're going to get back to card making. She just woke up. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down, and I have a few more things to show you before we get started here. So this month's Christmas card club uses the same bundle that we're using on our cards today. So I'm going to show those to you first. So my Christmas card club I run year-round. It is $44 a month, and it includes usually about $20 to $23 of product that you use on your cards. You get to make 8 cards. So just like I showed you that envelope, the card club kits come the same way, all sorted, but you're making 2 of each design in the card club. They're all Christmas cards for this one. And that $44 includes shipping. You also get a PDF and a printed tutorial. Envelopes are included. And you have the option to add on the Jolly Holly bundle and any inks that I use this month. And that's at the catalog cost. I cover the tax and shipping on those as a perk of belonging to the club. Or you can shop yourself and earn Stampin Rewards. So a couple of options there for you. But these are the cards this month for my Christmas card club. So, for example, this month you're going to get a half package of this Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper. You are going to get a package of these, I forget what they're called, but they are matte dots, and I don't remember what they're called. And this is a brand new ribbon, Mossy Meadow and Gold ribbon. And then these are the 4 card designs. So, if you like the bundle today after we're making the cards and you think you might want to do more with it, then you might enjoy my Christmas card club. The deadline to subscribe to this is July 15th. And then I usually ship the kits out by the 25th of the month. So I will put the link to subscribe in the description of the video also. And you can do that if you would like to do some more card making with this bundle. Okay, let's take a look at the bundle. So the Jolly Holly bundle has a stamp set, it has dies, and then it has a hybrid embossing folder. Now I wanted to show this to you because I really like this embossing folder. I think the holly is really pretty for Christmas cards. The hybrid part is interesting to me. I am not quite decided on whether or not I like it yet. So let me know in the comments what you think of this hybrid embossing folder, because I just am not sure of it. I really like this look, but I think you have to position it and cut your cardstock just the right size so you don't get these holes on the edge. And it doesn't actually cut all the way through. So it's interesting. This is the die, and you can see, you know, some of them it looks like it's so close, and you could use your paper snips to finish trimming it if you just wanted the pieces of holly. But you can tuck, like in the example in the online store, they've tucked a label in there. So I don't know what I think of the hybrid part, but I like the embossing folder. I really like, there's a word die. We're not even going to do any stamping on our first card because we're using this word die. So you can use it with the word joy in the stamp set, or you can just use it by itself. I love these stitched rectangles, and then you've got these that cut out other images in the stamp set. Plus you've got a variety of words you can use to mix and match and make Christmas sayings. So that is a lot of fun. And while I was telling you to comment about this, let me remember to tell you I do like to send the cards I make every week. So 3 random people who comment this week will get the 3 cards that I make. So make sure that you say hello and let me know you're watching. Here is our first card, and if you follow me on social media, you saw me post this card on Monday. There's no stamping on this card, which is kind of fun. I used that Joy die and the embossing folder in the background without the hybrid part. So I just did embossing. I didn't do any die cutting. All right, so for this one, we have a thick white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to fold it in half. And then this is a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 that I have embossed with that Jolly Holly embossing folder. And I think this is a really nice background for your Christmas cards. You could do it in all different colors. You could use your Stampin' Blends, or if you did this on watercolor paper, you could watercolor the holly. I might try that. See how much time I have to create today. All right, and then the one thing that's missing from our online exclusive release is Christmas paper. So as you can see, like in my Christmas card club, I went with the Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper because I think those patterns work well for Christmas. This one is actually from our Florals in Bloom Designer Series paper. It's a strawberry slush pattern, and this is kind of where I started with my designing this week because I was looking for like reds, greens. This is kind of a pink, but then I thought, what green will go well with this? And I picked out the soft sea foam, and I just love how that combination turned out, so I used it on all my cards. So this piece is 1 1/4 by 4, and we are just going to cut the ends to banners. And you can see on the back it's a nice floral pattern, which we're not using today, but the strawberry slush one worked just right, I thought. Now, when you are crafting for Christmas, do you like to use traditional Christmas colors, or do you like to use non-traditional? I love both. And I feel like this color combination is kind of in between because it's like a pinkish red and a really light green. So you've still got the classic Christmas colors, but not quite. All right, I'm going to attach this across the bottom with Stampin' Dimensionals. And then this label I have cut out of soft sea foam, and this is one of the dies in the Jolly Holly set. And then I've cut the word joy twice, once in strawberry slush and once in basic white. And we're just going to kind of layer those together on the label. Now, if you have adhesive sheets, you can use those. They work really well. I did not use them here. And if you get the card kit from me, you're going to have to use glue. But there's too much there. Let's see if we can spread it out. My glue is nice and full this morning. Afternoon when you're watching, but morning when I'm filming. All right, I'm going to off-center it just a little bit so that the white part will be centered when I glue it on. Oops. But let's try not to go crooked. That is the nice thing about the glue, is you can rearrange a little bit, but the thing I hate is it's happening already. I'm getting sticky fingers. And then it just, my fingers stick to everything. So I'm trying to use small dots of the glue. Less is more, but my glue, it just wants to come right out today. All right, and then we're just going to put this slightly down and to the right. And again, using the glue, you can kind of arrange it where you want. Like that. Okay, I'm going to add this layer with some dimensionals also. And I'm just going to go across the middle because the edges will kind of hang off of that banner. And that's already popped up with dimensionals, so we don't need to have an uneven card here. There we go. Okay, now the embellishments I'm using today, these are the Drusy Adhesive-Backed embellishments. And I'm going to be using silver on all of my cards, but if you are more of a gold person, you can use gold. And then the ribbon I'm using is a combo pack. It is a gold and silver 1/4 inch, I think it's called Trim Combo Pack. I will look it up and I'll put the exact name in the description. But again, I'm using the silver, but you could use the gold if you wanted to, if you were a gold person. So I'm just going to tie a bow with the silver ribbon. And of course, if you have other ribbon that you wanted to use, anything silver, gold, white, iridescent, shiny, sparkly, I think would look good here. I am so sad that our iridescent striped trim is retiring. I haven't checked. Maybe it is gone already, but that has been one of my favorite ribbons. And that would look really good here too. Okay. My finger was trying to stick to it because it's gluey. I'm going to trim that edge just a little more, and then we will add a few of our silver Drusy embellishments here. These are super sparkly and I love them. Alrighty, so there is our first card. I am going to tuck that away here, and remember, I will send that to one lucky person in the comments, so make sure you let me know what you think of that one. Okay, moving on to our second card yet. I haven't shared this one yet on social media, but this one is more of a soft seafoam base, and we are using another Strawberry Slush Designer Series paper pattern that I found. All right, so this one, we have a soft seafoam card base, 5.5 by 8.5, fold in half, and then I have another piece of soft seafoam that is 3 3/4 by 5. And we are just going to use this little, I think it's a poinsettia stamp from the stamp set. And I'm going to stamp in soft seafoam ink on the soft seafoam cardstock. And I'm just going to create a subtle background here. And we're going to be putting Designer Series paper across this middle part. So I'm mostly going to concentrate on the top and bottom third of my cardstock. But you know, we'll get most of it. I like stamping tone on tone sometimes because it just creates a fun background that's just kind of there. Maybe one more off the side there. There we go. All right. And I am going to use that poinsettia in a different color. Excuse me. Got frogs in my throat today. So I'm going to clean that off so that we don't mix our colors here. All right. And then this piece, okay, I almost made a boo-boo and attached it. I need to do a few other things first. Okay, I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is 2 by 3 3/4, and this is from the On The Go Designer Series paper. But isn't this a perfect pattern, I think, for Christmas? And it went with my Strawberry Slush and Soft Seafoam color scheme, so it was just perfect. So I'm going to adhere that across the middle, and then before we attach it to our card, we are going to wrap the silver ribbon around and tie a bow. And again, you can use whatever ribbon you want here. You could use the gold, but I love the silver. All right, let's tie a bow on the left side here. See if we can get this. Really, my sticky fingers are making everything more difficult. I often do not use the green glue for that reason, because no matter how hard I try, it always gets on my fingers. I don't know if you like to use green glue. I know there are people that love it. I am not one of those people. Okay, now we can attach this layer with some dimensionals. There we go. All right, we will center that on our card base. My ribbon is a little loose, but that is okay because we're going to put a circle on top of it, and that'll help hold it down, and it'll be fine. Maybe I should tighten it just a little bit. You can also, this is a trick I use sometimes, you can also put a glue dot underneath the bow, like right under there, if you need to keep it in a specific spot. Okay, now I have a circle that I have cut out of basic white with our Spotlight on Nature dies. And we are going to do Have a Merry Christmas in the Strawberry Slush ink. So this set has lots of different words that you can mix and match to make different sayings about Christmas. There's a few different fonts, which is nice. I am going to stamp the Christmas first, because I think it will be easier to center it that way. Then we will do the Merry. And finally, the Have a Merry Christmas. All right, and the Have a, I'm going to use in a different color on my next card. So we'll try and get that Strawberry Slush ink off of there for the most part. This cleaning cloth comes with the glass mat that I'm using. And it works really well if you don't want to get up while you're stamping and clean your stamps. And you know what? I should leave my Strawberry Slush ink out because we're going to stamp that poinsettia again. So this time I'm going to stamp in the Strawberry Slush ink. And we are going to stamp it twice. And I just want to add a little bit more dimension to this. So I am using one of my blender pens. And this works kind of like watercoloring, and it pulls some of the ink. So since I'm not using watercolor paper, I don't want to do too much because it will start to pill on the basic white. But I'm just pulling a little color from my ink into those leaves with the blender pen. And I don't know, can you see the difference? So it just adds a little bit of something extra there, so it's not just stark white. I suppose you could also stamp on Strawberry Slush, but I wanted something a little bit lighter. And the nice thing about these blender pens is then you can just go like this on your scrap paper or your glass mat and get any extra ink out, and then you can use it again on a different color. So there's two ends. I forget if it comes with 2 or 3 in the package. It has been a while since I have bought them. But it's a nice tool to have in your collection. And I bought the blender pens as one of my very first Stampin' Up! Purchases because I thought I could do coloring with more ink that way. Because you can use ink from the ink pads or your ink refills to use and pick up with the blender pen also. Okay, now we are going to die cut these little flowers here. So we'll stick them on through. Move my adhesive out of the way so I don't knock into that. I must be on top of something with my glass mat today because it is rocking back and forth a little bit. It is not completely flat. All right, let's get the second one here. And it should be lined up so you don't see a white edge around it. It has a little white edge when it is die cut, but you'll know it's lined up correctly if it's just flush with the edge there. Okay, let's scoot that out of the way. I'm going to put that die back so I don't lose it. Okay, and now we can finish assembling our card here. So I'm going to add my circle with some dimensionals. Right over the center there. And then I want to just add my little flowers here on the edge, and I'm just going to use mini glue dots. You could use glue. We already have 2 layers popped up with the dimensionals, so we probably don't need more dimension, but you can always use those if you want to. And I just kind of overlapped them a little bit there. Okay, and then we are going to add some of our Drusy embellishments again. I'm going to add the smaller ones to the centers of my flowers here. Isn't that so pretty? And then we'll put some bigger ones around on the card. I just love these embellishments. They are a little bit thicker, so probably not the best for mailing. You could give this card to somebody in person, or, you know, have you seen that trick to put an extra sheet of cardstock over the top in your envelope, and then they don't poke through quite so much? So there is our second card. So I will tuck that one in for somebody in the comments. And let's go on to our third card, which I shared yesterday. So this one I added a third color. I added Shaded Spruce, and I am in love with this color combination. So make sure if you follow me on Facebook, you can check out, I think I did Instagram too. You can check out, I did a little color combination graphic, so you can save it if you like this color combination too. I think it is a really pretty one. So for this one, we have a Strawberry Slush card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then I use that embossing folder again on this one. So this is a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25. Like I said, I love the embossing folder. I am not too sure about the hybrid part, but no matters. Even if I don't use that, the embossing folder comes in the bundle, which is tons of fun. Okay, so for this one, I went looking for a soft sea foam pattern of designer series paper, and I found this one in our Wildflower Birthday Specialty Pack. So again, it has florals on the back, but this is a nice soft sea foam pattern that will work with my color combination. So this piece of designer series paper is 3 by 4, and then the Shaded Spruce is 3.25 by 4.25. So I've layered those together with my Stampin' Seal Plus flat, and then we'll add it to the card with some dimensionals. All right, center that on here. And then this is one of the rectangles from the die set, which is awesome. And I thought we would use the holly on this one. So we're going to do the holly and jolly. I'm going to stamp that in Strawberry Slush, and this is the center. And then we will put the other words around. So stamp this first in the center. And then we're going to do Have a Holly and Jolly Christmas. Soft seafoam ink will not show up very well, so we're using Shaded Spruce. It worked well for that subtle background on the last card, but for a sentiment, I want something a little bit darker. So Have a Holly and Jolly Christmas. So we had the more scripty Christmas font on the last card. And for this one, we just have the smaller printed one. So a couple of options you can mix and match. All right, I'm going to add that label with some dimensionals. And then we need to do our holly. So we have the holly on the embossing folder, but there's also a holly stamp in the stamp set. So for this one, I'm going to stamp in my Memento black ink and just do a little bit of coloring. So going with my color scheme, I am using my Shaded Spruce Stampin' Blends, and then I have my light Strawberry Slush here for the berries. So I'm going to start with dark Shaded Spruce and just do the center of the holly here. This is such a small image, it's so fast to color. And then we are using the light Shaded Spruce to finish up our leaves. Now, if you wanted this image is kind of small, you could use your Stampin' Write markers if you have those instead. I just love Stampin' Up's coordination. I mean, you can pull out any green or pink or red from your collection, but I just love the fact that you can go get the exact color that matches your cardstock and your pattern paper, and you don't have to try and match it yourself. Now with our Stampin' Blends markers, every time you color over, it adds another layer of color. So I'm just going to do that a little bit on the side of these berries to add a little bit of dimension. I could use the dark too, but I just pulled out my light. And then, of course, we have a die to cut it out, which is awesome. We don't have to fussy cut. So we'll line this up just like we did that little poinsettia flower. Can't really see too much of a white edge with this one either. And we will send him on through. Okay. Perfect. All right. So to add this, excuse me, to our card, I'm just going to use a glue dot again. Right behind those berries. Just kind of go at the bottom here underneath your words. And then we're going to tie a bow with our silver ribbon. And you can go as big or as small as you want. We're going to add that to the top of our rectangle with a mini glue dot. And again, if you need to add another glue dot to make it stay where you want, that is a neat little trick. Okay, and then a few of our Drusy embellishments to finish off the card. There was a little spot on my paper there, so I'm just going to cover it up with an embellishment. That is a nice trick, isn't it? Embellishments are good cover-ups. All right, there is our third card. So I will tuck that in here for a lucky winner. And let me pull all three cards back in so you can see them. Here are our three cards for today. So remember to get this Christmas in July card kit. Shop with me now through Tuesday. And if you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards, you'll get the card kit to make the three cards. And then a special gift for you this week if your order is more than $75. I will also send you one of those mystery swag bags that I showed you an example of at the beginning of the video. So that is a lot of fun. I hope lots of you get those sent to you this week because it will be so much fun for me to pack them up. And I will see you again next week. Have a great day. Bye.